Hey, what's happening online business for healthcare? How y'all doing? I just had to come on here and share an experience I just had that just blew me away as I was reflecting on it. And it's such a clear lesson as to how you can start charging more for your time if you're selling something online right now. First of all, I had to show you this. Check this out. You see all these frisbees here? I don't think you, there you go. I have a 4-year-old who loves laying things out in like super linear forms. And I saw this and was like, oh, Ellie must have been playing with Ellie must have been playing with the frisbees. I love that. What's happening? Good to see you on here, Emily. Thanks for coming on. Oh my goodness, we got a bunch. Alexis, we got you on here. Robert, we got you on here. Julia, thanks for coming on, you guys. Just say live if you're on here live so that I can see you. If you're on the replay, say replay so I can give you a shout out. So real quick, here's the story. This will be a short one. I went to the doctor today for my pinky, which is not so straight. If you can see right there, like that's fairly flexed right now because I was just driving, but I hurt my pinky on that hoop right there. No, it was not at 10 feet. It was at like 7. Okay. But totally messed up my pinky 3 weeks ago, went into the doctor, and this was my follow-up today. And as I drove out of there, I was like, wait a minute. I just paid, and I did the calculations. I paid over $3,000 an hour to talk to this guy. How does he pull that off, and how can you pull off charging more for your services? Listen up if you're not charging what you know you're worth or you would like to charge more. But I'm super curious. If you'd like to charge more, I just want you to put more in the comments right now, or if you're happy with where you're at, if you feel like you're paid exactly what you feel like you're worth, just say, getting paid what I'm worth. If you feel like you should be charging more, put more. So I went to the doctor. They went in, they took x-rays. The doctor came in for literally 2 minutes. Literally 2 minutes. And that's being generous. He looked at it and he said, yep, you're fine. You're not going to need surgery. Just go bend it and massage it and you're fine. 2 minutes and he walked out. And I went to pay and I happily paid the $111.30. And I went out and I was like, wait a minute. Dude just charged me $111.30 for 2 minutes of his time. How did that just happen? And this is such an important lesson for you as a healthcare provider selling online, way undervaluing yourself, charging way less than you should because you're doing something that most healthcare providers make the mistake of doing, which is you think of your time in terms of what it costs per hour. You are selling your time based off hours. Instead, you should be selling based off the value of what you're giving, but ultimately you should be selling packages. I want you to think about it. Jason Wright, good to see you on here, man. Oh my goodness, so many of you. Kim, Ashley, Kyle Freeman, what's happening, Kyle? Sarah, guys, so good to see you on here. Say hi if you can see me. There we go. Okay, there we go. Josh 40, same thing with my ankle. Mine was 2:45 and I saw the doctor for 3 minutes and 45 seconds, right? So how does the doctor get to that position where he can charge me over $3,000 an hour, and how can you learn from that so that you can charge more than you ever have been able to before? Number one, the doctor already had authority, right? We know that the doctor was positioning himself as the authority relative to me. I had a problem. There was a painful problem that was going to cost me a lot of money, right? I want you to think about this. I didn't even think about the fact that I was paying him $111.30. Didn't matter to me because he was able to tell me, he was able to confirm my, not confirm my fears, but like allay my fears, telling me that I did not have to pay for surgery. Now, how much would surgery cost me? Thousands of dollars, right? In fact, my ER visit for this thing. Anyone want to guess how much my ER visit alone cost for this thing? It happened at like 7:55 at night, so I couldn't go to any of the Instacares or urgent cares. I had to go to an ER. I want you to put in the comments, how much do you think this dislocated pinky cost me at the ER? I got the bill the other day. I want to hear it. What do you think? Just put a value in dollars here below. How much does the pinky cost me? Okay, so while you're putting that in, I was comparing surgery to getting this consult from the doctor, right? So for me, saying, I could either pay this super expensive thing that's going to be a lot of time, a lot of obviously money, and a lot of pain to go solve, or I can pay him to tell me that I'm just fine, right? That to me was huge. People are always weighing what is the alternative to paying you for your services, to paying you for the outcome that they're going to get from you. So I was totally fine paying this guy because number one, he had authority. Now, how did he have authority? Was he putting out lots of content? No, I got a referral from a friend that I trusted. And I called up a PT friend here locally, shout out to Greg Martinez. And I said, Greg, who is the hand surgeon that you trust the most in my area? And he said, oh, you got to go see this guy. The guy's name is Dr. Hewish, by the way. Instantly, instant authority from someone that I already trusted. So I want you to think about how can you start leveraging that kind of trust in your life? Are you always relying on physicians to refer to you? Well, if so, we know that that's not going to work online. So instead, how do we build authority? We do it differently, right? We position ourselves as authorities through the content that we create, through the results that we have, and in how we interact with the people that ultimately buy from us. So number one was authority. Number two was this dude had a system for me, right? He came in, he got me, like I got enrolled. He didn't spend any time enrolling me. He had paperwork. He didn't spend any time telling me how to fill out the paperwork. He had the system. I filled out the paperwork. I got in. X-rays were next. Was he the one who provided the x-rays, who actually did the x-ray? Absolutely not. The x-ray tech did, right? So again, he had a system, he had a team. And I went through this whole experience simply going through his process, his system that he set up, and I paid for the system. I did not pay for the doctor's time. People are not paying you for your time, so why do you keep selling your time? Why is it that you think, oh, you know, I charge $140 an hour for my visits? Why? Especially if you're online, right? I did not ask ahead of time. Oh, what do you charge per hour, sir? Heck, I didn't even ask. I just knew I don't want surgery. I trust this guy, and he's an authority in my eyes, and I will go through his system. So how do we apply this online? Number one is you've got to set up a system for yourself online. Now, you're not going to get to the point where in 3 months you have a system where you can be charging $3,000 an hour. That's probably not going to happen. It's not realistic. But how do we start moving towards that point? Well, in our world, we get paid not based off our time anymore. Do I have to still spend time in the business? Absolutely. And if you are thinking that you're going to stop trading time for money by running an online business, you're kidding yourself. You're still going to be spending time and you're going to be getting money for it, but we can separate the payment from your time. Because we can, number one, have a system. We can, number two, have a framework and a process that we're taking people through. Then number three, we can create and sell based on packages. And whether you're doing online coaching or consulting or health work, I just want you to think about it. Like Jason, right? Jason, you're on here right now. Jason, honestly, Jason, I want you to put in here, how much time per month does it take you to serve me as your client? Honestly, how much time does it take you to serve me? Because I'm paying Jason right now for epic, I don't know what you'd call it, coaching, probably? Coaching, right? Is that, I guess, Jason, would that be it? But Jason has created this amazing program for me to do at home. And I work out at home. Jason tells me exactly what to do. Anytime I have questions, I can ask him. I don't abuse that power. I very rarely ask you questions, Jason. But when I do ask them, you're there, right? And you answer them. But really, Jason, how much time does it take you? 10 hours. 10 hours a month? Do you spend 10 hours a month? I hope not. I hope you don't spend 10 hours a month on me. Jason, about how much time do you spend per month now doing my, just doing my programming? Just my programming. Fitness and lifestyle coaching. Perfect. So Jason, about how much per month do you spend doing my programming at this point? I know that you spent a bunch of time earlier. Now at this point, now that you've got it set up, how much time per month? I hope it's not 10 hours. I hope it's not fully 10 hours. Okay. Kyle says, by the way, I got to catch up on guesses. Kyle said 3,000. Karen said 2,500. This is for how much my pinky cost. Taylor said 5,000. 3.5K said Kyle Rice. Dude, Kyle Rice wins the prize. It was $3,440 for an hour and 10 minutes in the ER. An hour and 10 minutes was $3,430. Now, are they charging per hour with that? Oh, no. No, right? They're solving a very painful problem in a package, and they charge whatever the heck they want, because what's my alternative? My alternative is sitting at home with a pinky that looks like a Z. They're selling based off what's the alternative. The alternative is what? I can't go anywhere else. It's an emergency room. They're my only option. Or I go to some other place down the road, right? But that's the only option. It's that or nothing. So they can charge whatever they want. So how are you solving a problem for people based off the alternative? So if it's surgery that you're helping people avoid, wonderful. We should be selling the fact that we can help someone avoid a multi-$1,000 surgery that doesn't include them having to go through months of rehab anyways. And that they're going to probably have to spend 5, 6, 7 grand on, plus miss out on work, plus miss out on X, Y, and Z things with their family. Like what is the alternative? And if we can't make that clear to someone in how we're selling to them, how in the world do we expect them to be able to make clear in their own minds that that's what they're paying for. They're paying to avoid that and to ultimately get the outcome they want. So if you want to charge more online, number one, sell packages, don't sell one-off, and don't sell. So by the way, the therapist that I'm seeing for this pinky, who's a client of ours, I'm paying to have help with this pinky, and am I paying for like, and Dorothy, when you listen to this, because I'm going to make you listen to this, we talked about this. We talked about how do we create a package for someone who's solving something like a health problem, who's solving something like a mobility problem, or who's solving something in this realm. We have to figure out what's the end result, and how can I get you the end result and just support you along the way. And guess what? I don't care if I don't want to pay hourly for someone. I just want to pay once to be able to know that the problem is going to be taken care of, and that's it. I'm paying for certainty in the outcome. I am paying for accountability, for someone to hold my feet to the fire, because I'll be honest, I have not done very well with the exercises. Like, I'm a PT, I know that I should be compliant, and I'm like 50% compliant probably, and I know exactly what to do. But even still, I'm a busy guy, and it's not my highest priority, right? Like, the pinky is not the highest priority. My business is, my family is. And so I pay for accountability. I pay for expert help. But at the end of the day, if you want to raise your prices, sell packages, not one-offs. Stop selling based off your time, okay? The easiest way to transition that is just to look at how much time will I be spending on this thing, and you can calculate it per hour if you want. And I charge about $150 right now, and I'm probably going to put in about 5 hours. So maybe I do whatever that is, 150 times. Why do I give myself hard math? I shouldn't give myself hard math. But that's an easy place to start. But ultimately, sell the package. People don't care how much time you spend. In fact, I was happy to spend $113, and it only took 2 minutes of my time. Right? In and out at the doctor, I was like 12 minutes maybe total. I'm fine with that. I am totally fine with that, because they solved my problem even quicker. And I'm happy paying that, because my time is valuable. If you want to work with people that value you, you got to be working with people that value their own time. Okay. Anyways, I hope this was useful. Let's see. Jason, I got to catch up and see what you said. Haha, my bad. Yours is 1 to 2 hours max, right? 1 to 2 hours max. Awesome. Sarah says that's like 5K Canadian. Yeah, it's expensive. On average, I spend 30 minutes per month checking in on you, right? 30 minutes a month checking in on me, Jason. Like, that's not that excessive. And I don't even care. Like, I don't really even care. It's nice to know that Jason checks in on me. I like the fact, but at this point, like, Jason, I'm pretty self-sustainable, right? Like, you tell me exactly what I need to do 4 days a week. I do it. I check in, and I'm consistent with it. And now it's at the point where you don't even really have to check in on me. It's a nice gesture, and I appreciate it. But like, you really don't, right? Because you have a system. And I know that we've talked about how you can scale that, but you have a system, and the system is now what brings value. Kyle says, glad to see they're still charging an arm and a leg for dislocated finger. Yeah, man, it's ridiculous. Have you been through it? It's totally crazy. Oh my gosh, we got Christopher on, we had Howie on, Jeff, Sean, Michael, Jocelyn. Guys, I got to do more live streams outside. This is beautiful. Kyle says, this is the exact unexpected live I needed today. Cool, man, this was for you. Karen says, pay for certainty and outcome. Absolutely. Paying for accountability. Absolutely. Packages, right? This is why at this point, we're at the point in our business now where the fulfillment, we've gone through one-on-one, right? We've done one-on-one consulting for so long that now we have our own process down, we have our own system down, and now we have things that support our clients beyond our one-on-one time. And so now we're able to separate our product, our service from our time. Now, do we still spend time? Absolutely. It's a very active business. But we spend exactly 2 hours a week doing the actual coaching in our business. That's how Will and I do it. We have it structured so that we can give one-on-one time to people, but we ultimately spend, Will and I each, 2 hours a week on the actual quote-unquote fulfillment of it. Will spends 2 hours, I spend 2 hours. Now, are we spending more time answering questions in our group? Absolutely. Do we spend time checking in on people one-on-one through Messenger? Yes, absolutely. But ultimately now we're not selling based off purely our time. Okay, we're selling based off the outcome somebody wants. And if that's the kind of business that you want, if you want to be able to have a business that isn't selling your time and you want to do it online, you should come work with us. That's what Will and I help people with. We help them. The biggest thing that most people struggle with as we help them, there's two. Well, there's three. Okay, there's three. Don't you love that? I can't like hold up my fingers normal because I can't bend my pinky. Number one is they don't know how to market. They do not know how to get in front of people because we've been spoon-fed clients all our lives as healthcare providers, okay? Number two, we don't know how to sell. because we've never had to sell. The doctor has just said, go to this therapist and go get therapy. We haven't traditionally ever had to sell. If you're a business owner, you might have had to a little bit more, but selling online is a different beast. So we help people learn how to market, get in front of people, sell to them. And the third thing is to create offers that people actually are excited to pay for. Okay, so if you need help with either of those things, what I want you to do right now is I want you to send me a message on Facebook and just say, Alex, I need help selling, or Alex, I need help marketing, or Alex, I need help packaging. And let's just talk through Messenger. And let's figure out how we can get you stop selling your time and instead sell your packages that rely on your frameworks, and ultimately move you to the point where we're separating your time from your offer. Are you still going to spend time on it? Yes, absolutely. Is your business going to be passive? No. We do not help you build passive businesses because those don't exist. Okay, it's called real estate investing, turnkey real estate investing. I don't do that. I really don't do that. Andrew says, how do you know if you'll have a certain outcome? Well, if I'm a buyer, I am buying on faith. I am buying on belief. Now, I'll just tell you how I bought belief in this. I bought hand therapy, or it's probably not therapy. I don't know what you would call it. Hand coaching. I bought coaching because I believed that the provider knew how to get my pinky better than I did. That was it. I'm a therapist. I went through all the hand classes. I know the stuff. I did mobilizations, right? I know the names of the joints. When I went into the doctor, I was able to tell him, hey, I have a dorsal dislocation. My PIP screwed up. The DIP is a little bit less. I might have some mallet finger going on. He was like, how do you know all this stuff? I was like, look, I'm a therapist. I know this stuff, but I also know that somebody else knows it better than me, and I prefer to spend my time and mental energy on my zone of genius. And so I paid for someone to A, hold my feet to the fire a little bit, but B, like, I didn't want to go look up all the exercises because I had no clue which one was right for me. I had no clue, like, what's the best way to get rid of swelling in a hand. I know I can massage it. I know I can do like lymph stuff. I know I can wrap it, but I paid to have someone give me more certainty. Was I 100% certain? No. Did I know that I would still have to do the work? Absolutely. But I paid someone because I believed that they knew more than I did. They could get me to the outcome faster than I could on my own. So Andrew, that's how I knew I'd have certainty. Does that make sense? I was more certain by paying for the help than I was not paying for it. And so what does that tell you? That tells you I value that certainty, that increase in certainty, more than I valued the money that I paid. Does that make sense? There's an imbalance there. I was so happy to part with them, have the relative increase in certainty. And that's always how people will buy from you. They will only buy from you and pay higher prices if they value what you're giving them more than they value the potential things they could buy with that money. Like, that's it. That's it. Like, when I look at the $113, what could I buy with $113? I could buy some nice new shoes. I need some new Ultras, by the way. What's up, Will? Good to see you, man. I want some new Ultras. I have these shoes. Let me show you these shoes. Oh, they're terrible. I don't know if you can see them. They're terrible. The toe box is so squished. My feet are like, oh, I really want some new Ultras that are $110. But I valued the doctor giving me certainty about the outcome of my finger more than I valued the purchase of those Ultras right now. And will I still go buy those Ultras? Yes, I will. At some point. But today I chose certainty over an injury instead of buying Ultras. Because it's okay. Like, my feet are going to be okay in this. My pinky, I don't know. Not so much. I don't know. Now I know that I'm fine. And I'm just going to do some movement. I'm going to massage the thing and I'll be better. So I was willing to part with the money. Does that make sense? Jason says you really don't care. Andrew says integrated IDT care improves outcomes but doesn't guarantee them. Yeah. Look, I don't even care what the research says. The research doesn't mean anything to me, right? The like outcomes, all that stuff. I don't care. I'm a consumer. I'm a scientist too. Don't get me wrong. I've got the DPT. I've been through research, but as a consumer, I don't really care. As a consumer, I just have a certain belief. And so I think that so many times we get wrapped up in, yeah, but what does the research say? What does this say? What does this say? And look, consumers don't give a crap. Like, they really don't. Do you think any consumer is out there looking at, hey, back surgeries, right? Like, how much research do we have on, or knee surgeries at this point? I haven't read the research now for 3 years because I focus on what I need to. But knee surgeries, I know that knee outcomes with conservative care versus surgery. Like we've got a million studies on that now. And yet people are going all the time to get their knee surgeries when they could probably have some kind of therapy because the research says that. But consumer behavior does not equal research. And we get so in our heads as clinicians about, oh, what does the research say? What does the research say? When really we need to look at what is the consumer value? And if you're running a business, what is the consumer value? Well, the consumer value is getting the outcome they want and feeling good along the way. That's why I think that ultrasound is complete BS from a therapeutic standpoint. Some patients love that crap and they're willing to pay for it and they're happy and it makes their experience better. Massage, oh my goodness, like people pay for massages. Chiropractors, right? I know we got chiropractors in here. I know some of you are like, oh my goodness, it does nothing when there's the cavitation. It doesn't matter. If they like that feeling, they will pay for it. People will pay for what they like. And so as a business owner, it's my job to find out two things. Number one, what will people pay for? And number two, what can get people the results they're actually coming to me for? Some people feel like they got the result that they wanted at the chiropractor because their back cracked. And they're happy and they leave. And you're like, yeah, but look at the research. It's not like your bones aren't misaligned. If they were misaligned, your spine would be severed. And they're like, yeah, I don't care. It just feels good. And you're like, Wah! Welcome to business. Business is the intersection of understanding that people think differently than the research tells us that they should. Sharil says, yeah, definitely going to run this back again and listen to it so we can sink in even more. I love it. Thank you, Josh Payne. Good to see you, man. Will, so glad I'm catching this live. Those these are not Ultras right here. These are terrible Under Armour shoes. Boo, Under Armour. These were like, okay, great thing here. We're gonna end with this. I bought these Under Armour shoes. We went to Ross. We were shopping at Ross for something for a kid or my wife or something. And I was like, oh, I should look at shoes. I need some new shoes. I didn't have to buy shoes back in the day because I was the mascot for my university and they just gave me shoes all the time. So I had a million Under Armour shoes. Well, I finally, like 4 years later, wore through them all and had to buy a pair of shoes. This was the first pair of shoes I bought in like 5 years, like daily wear shoes. And I bought them and I was like, oh, I had a bunch of Under Armour. Sweet, I'll grab those. And like a day later, I instantly regretted it because the toe box is so cramped. They were so much cheaper though. These were like $30 shoes because they were on clearance at Ross. And I like a good deal just like anyone else. I was like, oh, I'll get those shoes. They're cheap. Well, guess what? They suck. And the experience that I have every day, I would much rather pay $119 to get a really good pair of Ultras than to wear these pieces of crap. But like, I paid so little for them, right? But now, as a consumer that understands, I value the comfort more than I value that money. So I would much rather pay an extra $80 to have my feet be comfortable every day. Jason says 60% of the time it works every time. Logan says, great stuff. Love the points you made. Thanks, man. We're going to end it here. If you want to start charging more, reach out to us. Just shoot me a Facebook message right now. Say, hey, Alex, this is where I'm at, and this is what I want. And we can talk about this. But just remember, people don't pay based off your time. Even if you think they do, they're not paying based off your time. I did not pay the doctor based off his time. I paid based off the certainty that he could give me that I'm not going to need surgery. And I paid him initially because the doctor in the ER told me, hey, you might need surgery. He created some uncertainty. And he said, you're going to have to go see a specialist, right? He created a little bit of fear, lots of uncertainty, and a potential big price tag. And so I paid very happily to go get told, no, you don't need that. Let's give you some more certainty around your future. And in fact, the best thing ever, this is the best thing. The doctor ended with this. He said, actually, look, and he showed me both his hands, and his pinky had been jacked up when he was young. He messed it up. It was a little bit fatter than the other one. He said, look, I actually did the same thing to my pinky like 30 years ago, but I can move it all the way now and it's just fine. And I was like, oh, that gave me so much certainty. That little thing right there was worth $113. Kid you not. So much better than me worrying that I'm going to go need to have a $5,000 surgery and inpatient stay and all this crap. Okay, anyway, sell packages. Don't sell based off your time. I'm not saying that you shouldn't worry about this whole like, I'm trading time for money. Stop worrying about that and start worrying about how can I just sell people what they want, deliver what they want and what they need, and ultimately be able to create a business that sustains me, sustains my family, and allows me to create jobs and serve the people that are paying me at the highest level possible. Okay, that's it. All right, y'all, go make it happen today. Reach out to me if you want help actually growing your online business, if you need to go find patients, if you need to find clients, if you need to be able to learn how to sell, or if you know that your packages, your offers aren't solid like they need to be, reach out. This is the stuff we nerd out on all day if you can't tell. Okay, we'll see you guys. Go have a great day.